But you did a lot of marketing in Chicago, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, we did, because we found that that was a very good retirement area to get people, and we got a lot of them out here.
Especially during a snowstorm.
Yeah, and we got that idea by doing some surveys around Sun City in Arizona, and Chicago area seemed to be very popular. So.
Who came up with the 52-week vacation marketing
I was just going to
slogan?
ask that, yeah.
You know, I don't remember.
Sure was a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the different street names?
I'm not even sure about that.
That's a good question.
How about for the different communities? I mean, some of them seem pretty obvious. Westwood is on the west side, but how did you come up with the different?
I don't remember.
Why didn't you keep the San Diego open here, or did they get funding down at Stardust and go back?
Yeah, they started getting additional funding, and then they went out on Torrey Pines.
See, I always thought it was because you were so clever that you wanted to get the Rancho Bernardo community onto national television.
No, that was good.
It's up the hill.
You know, we tried really hard to, one of our great hopes was that we would be
That
able
would
to
be
take
great.
the original
Different
information
because there's a
center
golf cart available.
and move it and keep that as our museum, but by the time we got around to it,
Yeah.
the building was not able to sustain. It had lived its life.
Yeah, well, I imagine.
But we have, when it was demolished, we kept things from that
yes.
building, and so they will be incorporated into the museum
Yeah.
when it's built. So
Well, it
that'll
had
be
been
great.
moved several times.
That's
so,
we read that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one question I have is, of all of the things you've done in development, does Rancho Bernardo stand out as the one with the greatest sort of human component?
Oh yeah, and you know, having an opportunity to do something like this, you know, to think about it, get it down on paper, and then see it, you know, come along. Now that doesn't mean that we didn't have some sticky moments as we went along when sales were slow. But we fortunately had some fine lenders with us, and we were able to continue. Yes, sir.
How big a role did Richard Weiser play in initial development?
Dick Weiser was the #2 land planner for the city of San Diego, and I went down and just lured him away because I needed his land planning expertise, and he was invaluable. And yeah, he was here from the get-go, and we worked very close together, and he was a fine gentleman, fine fellow.
Is that a help in getting the annexation, as far as him moving over from the city government, his contacts or anything like that?
Oh, sure, yes, that was very helpful, and of course a lot of the people down there had worked for him, and he was able to work closely with them and in working things out.
You did something kind of novel, didn't you, with the connecting Rancho Bernardo to San Diego? It was a pretty fine little corridor.
Well, yes, and we had to do that to get that water. And so we had a 100-foot wide annexation from Rancho Bernardo to the south side of Miramar Naval Air Station. And we had to run that line all the way up there and get you water here.
So the line actually went through that corridor.
Yes, sir. Went right down that corridor.
When they annexed San Ysidro, they did something similar, annexing a corridor through the bay, so they wouldn't violate the law of annexing a non-contiguous piece of property.
So that's how we were able to do it. And see, sewer we built, you know, down in the river basin down there.
Do you know why the community has 2 zip codes?
Beg your pardon?
Why does the community have 2 zip codes? Do you know anything
I
about
don't.
that?
I don't know. Don't know.
I heard that you might have something about that you drove the distance. There was like tied in with the selling point that it was not that far from downtown San Diego. That you might have driven it at night or something. Do you know anything about like how far you guys were saying like it's only 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever from?
You
San
wouldn't believe something like that, would you?
I don't know. I was told to ask this question.
It's true.
It is true.
I did it about 11 o'clock one night from downtown San Diego to Rancho Bernardo, and I could truthfully say that Rancho Bernardo was 20 minutes from downtown San Diego. Or what time of day?
So you knew that Interstate 15 was coming.
No, sir. Not then.
Not then?
Not
Wow.
then. No.
It must have come as a nice surprise.
Wasn't
Uh-huh.
it 395 in then?
It was 395.
Yeah.
It was.
So-
No,
So it was a
Interstate 15
highway.
came in around late 1960s, early 70s.
No, it was about 79, 80.
it was much later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're not doing it at 11 o'clock at night, how long did it take to get down to San Diego?
we don't talk about that. That wasn't in our advertising.
I'm just asking from experience. What was it?
I don't know why people always ask me about that drive.
Well, but it was a freeway that went down, because 395.
No, ma'am, it was 2 lane.
Oh.
And there was no
Oh,
post.
my
There was no
goodness.
post office here in the community. Is that and
Oh, that's right. And actually, it was 4 lane, kind of coming through the park, coming down to Mission Valley, and then from Mission Valley out here it was 2 lane.
Oh my goodness.
So,
And where did the first residents go to get their mail? I think it was to Miramar, but I'm not sure.
I'm
Is
not
that right?
sure.
Yes.
Could have
Our
been
historian says Miramar.
That's
Could
what
have
I
been.
read.
Could have been a ways.
Yeah. And I know there were no traffic signals in Rancho Bernardo for
No.
quite some time.
No, where was the first one?
I don't know
Here.
whether it was at Pomerado and Rancho Bernardo
That's what
Road.
I
Is that
I-
the
I
first
think-
one? But that was a
Mhm.
4-way stop in those
Yeah.
early days, and that of course was. And I guess is that why UCB located in that shopping center, because they lent the property for money for the
Yes,
development.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. That's right, and that's why I had my office above their office.
So now, how?
So
now-
all I had to do was just drop a bucket down and
So now, eventually, that property was that shopping center was owned by Jim McMillan. I think it still is.
I have
So
no
you
idea.
don't.